Hey everybody, in this video, we're going to share our experiences as digital nomads in Mexico City,
where we packed a lot of activities into 1 week.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
And I'm Deb.
And welcome back to the channel. So today we are sitting in beautiful sunny San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. And what we thought we would do is just take a couple minutes and kind of reflect on our time in Mexico City, where we were right before we came to San Miguel de Allende.
Mm-hmm. So in our reflections videos, we just sort of break it down into different sections. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with our weather while we were in Mexico City.
Pretty nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
So we happened to get mid-80s. There were a couple days where maybe it was a little bit chillier and we needed a light jacket. For us, that's never a problem. That is actually perfect. Yeah. But for roaming around the neighborhoods, it was just perfect weather. And
we're talking mid-May or early May.
Yeah, mid-May. Yeah. And so we have no complaints about the weather at all. We just good timing, I guess.
No, we had a couple of days with a little bit of rain, but nothing that stopped us from getting out and exploring the city.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so our next topic is going to be activities. So Mexico City in general, there are just endless possibilities for activities.
Yes.
I can't imagine going for a week and ever being bored. There's just so much to do. So some of the stuff that we did though, while we were there, we did do the hop on, hop off bus. Mm-hmm. We find this very enjoyable, especially if we're, when we first get to a city to see what's around the city.
Right. When we first get there, we try to see if we can do it so that then we see all kinds of different neighborhoods that we might not have otherwise seen.
But for Mexico City, we were only there for a week. So it was perfect for getting out to some of the other neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. So we did do the Zocalo.
The Zocalo, yeah.
And there is lots to do out there. You can see the ruins down at the Zocalo.
Yep. Shopping all around.
Shopping. You should go out and get a good meal, as we did.
Yep. Lots of look up because you'll see lots of rooftop terraces. You can go either find a good terrace to find a drink or get a meal and have a great view.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we also went to Coya. I'm sure I'll pronounce this wrong. Coyoacán Center. Centro?
The Centro, yeah. Yep.
So one of your main reasons, and we did this on the hop on, hop off bus, one of your main reasons for going there might be to go see the Freedom Museum. Now, if you're going to go see the Freedom Museum, buy tickets ahead of time.
Yeah, we didn't end up getting to doing it. We put it on our list for another trip.
And it was Mother's Day. Maybe that made a difference, but it was sold out. So we didn't. But the actual Coyoacán Centro itself was just very charming. So we both really enjoyed that. We had a great meal out on a balcony there.
Yeah, it's a great neighborhood to go visit.
It was it felt very authentic. It was just very quaint. Everything was great about it. So
really enjoyed it. And that was a recommendation from actually some of our followers said to make sure that we didn't miss that. So thank you for that.
And then one of our other major stops on the hop on, hop off bus, which I really enjoyed, and I think you could just do endless things out there too, was the Chapultepec Park.
The Chapultepec Castle, right?
And in Chapultepec Park, there is the Chapultepec Castle, which is a museum.
And so much more.
And there's so much more. There's botanical gardens, a zoo. You can
beautiful little lake.
There's a little lake. You can rent little boats on it.
Yeah, you could just walk the park. I mean, the park is a great, in the middle of the city, beautiful green space.
Yep. And when we were there was vendors set up all throughout the park. So it was a very good experience.
I think the Museum of Modern Art is right there as well.
Anthropology.
So, and I mean, speaking of museums, art, Mexico City is filled with museums. If you love going to different types of museums, this is a great city for that.
There are no shortage of activities.
No. So one of the things we love to do wherever we go is walk. It's a big part of us staying fit, making sure that we're working off all those calories that we eat. And so when we look at a city and do our reflections, we always look at the walkability of the city. And I felt like Roma Norte, the neighborhood we stayed in particular in Mexico City, was very walkable.
It was extremely walkable. The sidewalks were great, never had an issue. Google Maps, anytime we needed to get somewhere, worked perfectly great.
Yeah.
And it wasn't overly hilly. So it was probably mostly fairly flat, I
Yeah,
thought.
it was. It
Mhm.
was. I didn't think we had any problems with the hills there.
Mhm.
There were lots to walk to. So we
Mhm.
could easily walk to a great little neighborhood grocery store. We
Mhm.
could walk to the Zona Rosa, which
Yep.
was a big little shopping restaurant bar district.
Mhm.
Even right where we were at, there were amazing restaurants, tons and tons and tons of stuff
Lots
to
of
walk to.
restaurants, lots of cafes, lots
Yep.
of bakeries.
So yeah, bakeries. So basically, highly walkable. There was never a point. We took an Uber to the airport, or from the
Mhm.
airport, we took an Uber to the bus station when we left.
Mhm.
We did take a long bus tour out
With
to
the hop on, hop off bus.
Well, we did
with
that,
our
but
tour,
to go
yeah.
to Teotihuacan, we took a
Mhm.
bus tour. But we really everywhere else we just walked because it was
Mhm.
just easy to do.
Yep. Okay, so Mexico City is very, very large. It's a very large city. And transportation, pretty much anything you can think of, it was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our preferred method is walking. We used Uber a couple times, but everywhere there was buses, taxis.
Private buses and
Mhm.
the public bus system is incredible.
Mhm.
They have a
And
subway as
Mhm.
well. Yeah.
Mhm. And bike lanes. So biking was quite
Yeah.
popular around the city.
I'm not sure. Yeah, and you could rent e-bikes. They had e-bikes, for rental, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure I'd want to be riding a bicycle around Mexico City, but people did it and they navigated it just fine. And it was
Mhm.
nice. In certain areas, they were very delimited bike
Mm.
lanes. So that's great. Yeah.
So transportation, no problem.
Yeah, transportation wasn't an issue.
There's a loud bus going by. Okay. So food, this is one of our favorite topics to talk
Yes.
about anywhere.
And there was no shortages of great places to eat in Mexico
Mm-mm.
City. Yeah.
So we had our neighborhood of Roma Norte where we ate some great food. We had our little taco place that we really liked.
It was great.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
We had a little cafes that we would like. There was actually one just at the bottom of our apartment building, but our favorite was probably the Cafe 1900.
Yeah, I don't know if we consider that a cafe. That's a bakery.
It's a bakery,
but
I
it was,
guess.
but from a food perspective, there's everything you could want. If it is a highly international city, so if you want authentic Mexican food, obviously you can absolutely get that in Mexico City. But you can find pizza, you can find Italian food, you can find gyros, you can find all kinds of different types of food. If you don't like food in one neighborhood, walk 5 blocks to another neighborhood. There was food everywhere. But you're right.
And
bakeries were amazing.
We had some great food outside of our neighborhood too.
We did.
When we were on the hop on, hop off bus, we in the Zocalo,
Yep.
we had a great meal out there.
We did.
And then at Coyoacán,
We had an amazing meal out there.
We did out there, too.
A great authentic Mexican breakfast. That was great.
Yeah. So there's no shortage of good food in Mexico City.
Absolutely not. So, but to your point, along with the bakeries, there were amazing bakeries, and 1900 was absolutely amazing.
Oh, let me mention too, just real quick. I think you have a,
Yeah.
there we go. I will mention too, we also had great donuts. And this was from Randy's Donuts,
Yeah.
which I did not realize was a chain. I just thought it was
Not
a
from
donut
Mexico
place.
City. It's a chain from Los Angeles.
But it's a chain but that turned out really good too.
And they were fantastic donuts. So you can't, you can find anything you want in Mexico City. So let's talk about the safety of Mexico City, because I think whenever there's a huge city, this is one of the most populations dense cities in the world. People worry about safety, and obviously, as with any big city, it's where you go and what you do and how you behave while you're there. We were in Roma Norte, which is, I don't know, a nicer area, and we never had any problems whatsoever.
So the only time we were out walking at night was in our own district of Roma Norte, even though we visited some other districts, and no issues. But like any big city, just do your research. If you're going to be staying in certain neighborhoods, just check, read reviews online, all that kind of good stuff.
And just take care of yourself. Don't do the silly stuff. Don't be out where you shouldn't be. Don't be, consuming tons of alcohol and then trying to walk and navigate a huge city like that. It's just things. Just be smart about it. And because we do that, we didn't have any problems in Mexico City whatsoever.
Okay, let's talk about cost.
Okay.
So our apartment wasn't bad. It was, I think, a little bit under $700 for 1 week. which is a little bit more than I would like to spend.
Yeah.
So it came out to just under $100 a night. But because we were only staying a week and not doing some of the longer stays that we like to do, it then became a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But still cheaper than a hotel. So.
Yeah. And I mean, it's Mexico City. This is a large, like, urban city comparable to Chicago, New York City, Miami. So you're going to expect for things to be more expensive there. And we were staying in Roma Norte, which, like I said earlier, it's a little nicer area.
It's a little trendier, yeah.
Trendier, and I think it attracts tourists. So obviously, then prices are going to be a little higher.
They are going to be higher.
So are there less expensive places to stay in Mexico City? Absolutely, 100%. So just kind of find the kind of lifestyle that fits what you want to spend, and I think you'll be able to find it.
And I felt like for food, maybe it was a little bit more expensive in Roma Norte than when we ate our lunches at a couple of other places.
That's right.
But we also bargain hunt, so we found good taco places. We find our deals.
Yeah, we did.
So overall cost was, I thought, and even Ubers were not that expensive. So overall cost was pretty good.
For being a big metropolitan city, I thought Mexico City was very cost effective for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about digital nomading in Mexico City. As we're living this nomadic lifestyle and Deb's doing all the planning, my big ask is it's got to have great internet. We've got to, we're still working, right? So we've got to have access to be able to have Teams meetings with our clients and be able to always have access to good internet. And we had zero issues while we were in Mexico City, either from a Wi-Fi perspective or from a mobile cellular data perspective.
I'm pretty sure he said while we were in the apartment, this is one of the best Wi-Fi
fastest it is some of the fastest Wi-Fi that we've had in any of our digital nomads. And we've been in Buenos Aires, very large city. We've been in Montevideo, Uruguay. We've been in Asunción, Paraguay. We've been in Santiago, Chile. And Mexico City, this particular apartment that we had some of the best speeds for Wi-Fi that we've had on our nomading experience. It was great.
And if you didn't want to work in your apartment, there were plenty of little coffee shops.
Tons of places to go, just hang out, find a good space, order some coffee, have good Wi-Fi. You got the pastries and I got the Wi-Fi. And just, there's lots of different places to work. I feel like I could have taken a mobile hotspot and gone out to the fountain outside and just took my laptop to the mobile hotspot and would have no problems whatsoever either. We're going to park, right? So because the cellular data was so good, I don't think there's any problem as a digital nomad whatsoever. So it was great. Yeah. So I think that's kind of it. Those are kind of the top areas that we all like to go down through as we're doing our reflections on a place that we visited. If you've got questions about Mexico City or experiences with Mexico City, do us a favor, leave a comment, ask a question. We'll do our best to answer it. We appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to like and subscribe.
And thank you for joining us.
And we will see you in the next video.